Ever wonder why, as you get older, you might prefer staying in over going out? Could it be a sign of wisdom or something deeper? At 70, I found myself avoiding social gatherings more and more, choosing the quiet comfort of my own space instead. It's not that I don't enjoy people, but over time I've realized that the need for socializing isn't what it used to be. In fact, I've come to appreciate the peace of independence. In today's video, I'm going to share why aging naturally pushes us toward this independence. I'll reveal 6 key reasons why I've grown to value solitude over social gatherings, and why this shift is not only normal, but actually beneficial for your well-being. Stick around, because these insights could change the way you think about growing older. Reason number 1, the shift in energy and priorities. As we age, one of the most noticeable changes is the shift in our energy levels. When we were younger, we had the stamina to go from one event to the next, attending parties, social gatherings, and all sorts of group activities. But as time passes, it's natural for our bodies to slow down. The long nights and social obligations can start to feel more exhausting than exciting. I used to be the life of the party, but now I find that I simply don't have the energy for the hustle and bustle of constant socializing. This change doesn't just affect physical energy, but mental energy as well. Social engagements, especially large gatherings, can be mentally draining. The constant chatter, the need to keep up with conversations, and the pressure to be on all the time can leave you feeling more tired than refreshed. As we age, we begin to realize that it's not just our bodies that need rest. Our minds do too. Instead of seeking out social events to fill our time, we naturally start looking for quieter, more peaceful moments that allow us to recharge. With this change in energy, our priorities also shift. When we're younger, it can feel like we need to constantly be out and about, staying busy, meeting people, and being part of every social circle. But as we get older, we start to appreciate the value of time spent on more meaningful activities. Instead of going to a large dinner party or attending a loud event, I find more joy in simple, calm activities that rejuvenate me, like reading a good book, walking in the park, or enjoying a quiet cup of tea by the window. These are the moments that bring me peace and fulfillment, and they require much less energy than trying to keep up with a crowded social calendar. I've also come to appreciate the importance of self-care, which becomes a priority as we age. Sometimes it's just as important to rest and recharge as it is to engage with others. For instance, I might spend an evening at home watching a favorite movie or taking a long bath, and I realize that those moments give me more joy and clarity than any social event ever could. This focus on self-care isn't about isolation. It's about making choices that support my well-being, physically, mentally, and emotionally. So, as our energy levels naturally change with age, so too does our relationship with social gatherings. Instead of forcing ourselves to meet every expectation or engage in every social outing, we learn to prioritize what truly brings us joy and peace. The shift towards quieter, more meaningful experiences is not just a result of aging. It's a gift that allows us to live with intention and gratitude for the simple pleasures of life. Reason number 2, the desire for mental clarity. As we grow older, we begin to realize just how valuable mental peace truly is. In our younger years, we often take our mental clarity for granted, running from one task to the next, constantly juggling social engagements, work responsibilities, and family matters. But as time passes, it becomes clearer. Our minds deserve the same level of care and attention as our bodies. Aging brings with it a heightened sense of awareness about how important it is to protect our mental well-being. For me, I've learned that a peaceful mind is my greatest treasure at this stage of life, and I've become more intentional about preserving it. Social gatherings, while often fun and fulfilling in their own way, can sometimes contribute to unnecessary stress. The noise, the crowds, and the constant interaction can overwhelm your senses, leaving you mentally drained. I found that spending time in these environments can sometimes create a sense of mental clutter. Too many voices, too many opinions, and too much happening all at once. These situations can make it hard to clear your mind and focus on what's truly important. As I've aged, I've realized that the mental energy required to navigate large social events often outweighs the benefit I get from them. In contrast, solitude provides a much-needed escape from this mental chaos. When I'm alone, I can process my thoughts at my own pace, reflect on my experiences, and focus on things that bring me calm and clarity. Whether it's taking a quiet walk, meditating, or simply sitting in silence, these moments of solitude allow me to recharge my mental batteries and feel more centered. I can hear myself think without the noise of the world around me, and I've found that this peace is essential for maintaining mental health as I age. Another reason solitude becomes so appealing is that it gives you the space to focus on what truly matters. As we get older, we often find that we don't have the mental bandwidth to care about every little thing. The constant noise of social obligations and external pressures can cloud our judgment and make it harder to make thoughtful, deliberate decisions. By embracing quieter, more solitary moments, we give ourselves the freedom to focus on our own goals, desires, and well-being without being pulled in multiple directions by the demands of others. Ultimately, the desire for mental clarity becomes one of the driving forces behind our preference for solitude as we age. It's not about avoiding people or rejecting the world. It's about recognizing that true peace comes from within, and that protecting our mental space is essential for living a fulfilling life. Aging teaches us that it's okay to take a step back, to say no to things that cause unnecessary stress, and to prioritize our mental health over the hustle and bustle of social expectations. This newfound appreciation for mental clarity is a beautiful gift that allows us to live more intentionally and thoughtfully. Reason number 3, emotional independence and self-sufficiency. As we age, there's a natural shift toward greater emotional independence. In our younger years, we often seek validation and approval from others, whether it's from friends, family, or colleagues. Social gatherings serve as a way to feel connected and recognized. However, as we grow older, we begin to realize that we no longer need external validation to feel secure or worthy. Instead, we become more attuned to our own emotional needs, learning how to find comfort and satisfaction from within. Being alone, in fact, becomes a form of empowerment, as we no longer rely on others to define our sense of self. This desire for emotional independence only grows with time. We start to recognize that constant socializing and the need to please others can sometimes be emotionally draining. The more we learn to rely on our own thoughts and feelings, the less appealing social gatherings become. I found that I no longer seek approval from others or feel the need for constant company. Being alone feels like freedom. Freedom from the pressures of meeting expectations, playing social roles, or feeling obligated to participate in events that don't truly serve my emotional well-being. As we age, we become more comfortable with solitude. This isn't loneliness, but rather a choice to embrace the peace that comes with being emotionally self-sufficient. In my younger years, I may have thought I needed to be surrounded by people to feel fulfilled. Now I understand that emotional fulfillment doesn't depend on the presence of others. It comes from within. I've learned to find contentment in my own company, enjoying activities that nurture my emotional health like journaling, reflecting on my life experiences, or simply taking a quiet moment to appreciate the present. In addition, aging allows us to shed the need for constant social interaction, particularly with people who don't bring genuine value to our lives. When we're younger, we might feel compelled to maintain large social circles or engage in gatherings just to fit in. As we age, we become more selective about the relationships we invest in. recognizing that emotional independence means surrounding ourselves with people who truly support and understand us. This shift away from superficial connections makes social gatherings seem less necessary, as we find greater satisfaction in the company of a few close individuals rather than many acquaintances. Ultimately, the growth of emotional independence and self-sufficiency is one of the most empowering aspects of aging. We begin to realize that our happiness doesn't depend on external sources, and the approval of others no longer holds the same weight. Social gatherings, once a way to seek validation or avoid loneliness, now feel less essential. Instead, we cherish the freedom that comes with knowing that we can stand on our own emotionally without needing others to constantly reaffirm our worth. This shift allows us to embrace solitude, not as isolation, but as a fulfilling choice that enriches our lives in profound ways. Reason number 4, the wisdom of selective relationships. As we age, we naturally become more selective about the relationships we invest in. In our younger years, it's common to spread ourselves thin, trying to maintain a wide circle of friends, acquaintances, and social commitments. But with age comes the realization that not all relationships are created equal. We start to prioritize quality over quantity, valuing deeper, more meaningful connections with people who truly understand and support us. The energy spent on shallow or superficial relationships no longer feels worth it, and we learn to cherish those who bring real value to our lives. This shift in priorities makes social gatherings with a large number of people feel increasingly unnecessary or draining. As we grow older, we become more attuned to the type of energy we want to surround ourselves with. Large events filled with acquaintances or people we hardly know can start to feel like an obligation rather than an opportunity. I've come to realize that I'm much happier spending time with a select few who I truly connect with on a deeper level. These are the people who share similar values, offer genuine support, and bring out the best in me. One of the biggest gifts of aging is the clarity to understand who truly matters in your life. Instead of attending social events just for the sake of being social, we begin to focus on the relationships that nourish us emotionally and mentally. I prefer deep one-on-one conversations with those who truly matter to me. These types of interactions are fulfilling and leave me feeling energized rather than exhausted. They allow me to connect in a way that's meaningful and mutually enriching, without the superficial small talk or forced interactions often present in larger gatherings. Furthermore, as we age, we realize that time is precious, and we don't want to waste it on relationships that don't add value to our lives. In my younger years, I might have attended social events out of a sense of obligation or to avoid missing out. Now I know that my time is better spent with people who align with my personal values and with whom I can have genuine, meaningful conversations. The wisdom gained over the years teaches us to be more intentional with our time and the people we choose to spend it with. Ultimately, the wisdom of selective relationships is one of the most powerful aspects of aging. We learn that it's not about how many people we know, but about the quality of those connections. Social gatherings with large groups of people can feel overwhelming and unnecessary when compared to the richness of spending time with those who truly matter. As we grow older, we realize that our relationships, like everything else, benefit from the depth and authenticity that only come with time, experience, and wisdom. Reason number 5, the comfort of familiar surroundings. As we age, our connection to familiar surroundings becomes deeper and more meaningful. The home, once just a place to sleep and eat, transforms into a sanctuary where we feel safe, at ease, and truly ourselves. There's a unique comfort that comes from the routines and spaces we've created over the years. Whether it's the warmth of your favorite chair, the calm of a quiet afternoon, or the simple act of curling up with a good book, these familiar surroundings offer a sense of stability that is hard to find elsewhere. For me, home is where I feel truly at peace, and I cherish the quiet moments spent in the comfort of my own space. This deepening connection to home often leads us to avoid social events that require us to leave it behind. In my younger years, I was more open to attending gatherings and venturing out into the world. But as I've gotten older, I find myself craving the comfort of home more and more. Social events, especially those that require travel or involve large groups, can feel disruptive to the sense of calm and familiarity that my home provides. The idea of leaving my peaceful environment can sometimes feel overwhelming, especially when I know that all I need to recharge is right at my fingertips. The comfort of home isn't just about physical surroundings. It's about the emotional security that comes from being in a space where everything is familiar. There's something incredibly soothing about knowing where everything is, being surrounded by personal belongings that tell the story of your life, and having control over your environment. Social events, by contrast, often introduce elements of uncertainty, new people, unfamiliar places, and changes in routine that can feel mentally and emotionally draining. It's no wonder that, as we age, we seek more comfort in the familiar spaces that provide us with a sense of grounding and peace. Moreover, as we age, our energy levels naturally decrease, and we become more mindful of where we invest that energy. Social gatherings often require a lot of effort: getting ready, traveling, socializing, and making small talk. In contrast, at home, we can control the environment and engage in activities that truly nourish us, like reading, gardening, or simply enjoying a cup of tea in peace. The quieter, slower pace of life at home offers a reprieve from the hustle and bustle of social events, which can sometimes feel like an energy drain rather than an enjoyable experience. In the end, the preference for familiar surroundings is a natural result of the wisdom and experiences accumulated over a lifetime. As we age, we learn to appreciate the comfort and safety that our homes provide, both physically and emotionally. Home becomes a place where we can truly relax and be ourselves without the need to impress anyone or engage in social rituals. The peace found in these familiar surroundings is irreplaceable, and it often leads us to choose solitude and comfort over social obligations. Reason number 6: freedom to follow your own pace. One of the most rewarding aspects of aging is the freedom it gives us to live life at our own pace. As we get older, the pressures of meeting others' expectations, following a hectic schedule, and fulfilling social obligations begin to fade away. We no longer have to rush to fit into someone else's timeline or prioritize activities that don't bring us joy. Aging offers the luxury of time to savor the little moments, to enjoy the simplicity of life, and to do what we want, when we want. For me, there's a deep sense of peace in knowing that I don't have to race to meet anyone else's schedule. No more rushing to get ready for events or juggling multiple commitments. My time is mine, and that's something I've come to cherish more than ever. Avoiding social gatherings allows for a more fulfilling, self-paced lifestyle. When we're younger, we might attend events because we feel obligated, or because it's simply the thing to do. As we age, we learn to prioritize our well-being and desires over social norms. This shift leads to a life that feels more authentic and aligned with our own needs. Instead of rushing through a busy week packed with social events, we can choose to spend our days how we see fit, whether it's enjoying a quiet afternoon, pursuing hobbies, or simply relaxing at home. The freedom to follow our own pace gives us a sense of control over our lives, something that is often lost in the rush of youth. I found that when I avoid social gatherings, I create more space for the things that truly bring me joy. Without the pressure of attending every party or event, I have the opportunity to do things at my own pace without feeling rushed or drained. This self-paced lifestyle isn't about isolation. It's about the freedom to decide how I want to spend my time without being bound by social calendars or expectations. Whether it's taking a leisurely walk in the morning or spending a quiet evening reading a book, I feel more connected to myself and to what truly matters to me. Moreover, this freedom allows me to engage in activities that enhance my health and well-being. When we're constantly attending social events, we often overlook the simple pleasures of life that can be rejuvenating. By following my own pace, I have the time to prioritize self-care, relaxation, and reflection. This slower, more intentional pace not only nurtures my body, but also my mind and spirit. Instead of feeling exhausted from trying to keep up with a busy social calendar, I now find that I am more energized by the activities I choose to engage in, and I feel more at peace with how I spend my days. Ultimately, the freedom to follow your own pace is a gift that comes with aging. It's the luxury of having the time to focus on what truly brings us joy, without the constant pressure of meeting others' expectations. The ability to decide what to do and when to do it leads to a more fulfilling, meaningful life. No longer bound by the demands of social gatherings or societal norms, we can embrace a lifestyle that is calm, purposeful, and aligned with our own values. This freedom is one of the most rewarding aspects of aging, and it's something I've come to truly appreciate. Conclusion. As we age, it's completely normal to seek more time alone and prioritize independence. The wisdom and experiences we've gathered help us realize that staying in, avoiding social gatherings, and living at our own pace isn't just a preference. It's a choice that leads to a more fulfilling, peaceful life. So embrace the journey of aging, and remember, it's okay to say no to social events if it means saying yes to your own well-being. Thank you for watching. If this video resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Comment below with check mark if you agree or 0 if you have a different perspective. See you in the next video, and take care.